And the thing is, we don't know what they know, we don't know what they've got, and we don't know what they're going to do with it.
Australia's best-known brands are being urged to remove a tracking tool used by controversial social media giant TikTok.
Tick-tock, tick-tock, the clock's ticking, nothing's happened.
After revelations it's harvesting Australians' data without their knowledge, TikTok's tracking tool, Pixel, is an invisible piece of code that tracks a user's web history and personal information, even if they don't have an account. The Pixel can then track a user across the internet and piece together their identity, including their email, phone number, also buying habits, potentially breaching the nation's privacy laws. Joining me now is columnist Susie O'Brien and 7 News reporter Nick McCallum. This is very much a hot topic this morning. Susie, this is quite concerning, particularly for people who don't even have a TikTok account, and it's the piecing together of the information that's really a worry, isn't it?
Yeah, Eddie, I mean, these sorts of pixels are very common. So this is why, for example, when I go onto Facebook, I get ads for seniors dating.
Did you really think you can land a hunk like this?
So, I mean, Facebook clearly thinks I'm 80, thanks a lot. So basically they're used to create better ads or more targeted ads. But in the case of TikTok, they're actually taking this information from their advertisers. So you don't even need a TikTok account to have your information taken. And the thing is, we don't know what they know, we don't know what they've got, and we don't know what they're going to do with it. When the owner of the company is basically the Chinese government, who has worked out years ago that information is power, we really should be concerned about what it is they're going to do, because the difference in this case with TikTok and the Chinese government is their intent. We don't quite know what they're wanting to do with it. Creating better ads is not their intent.
Yeah, and Nick, that's the worry, isn't it? I mean, the irony here is that corporations, Australian corporations, all collect this data as well on all of their customers. But it's where this data is going and what it's going to be used for, with calls for an investigation to be launched into this. Is it enough?
Well, first of all, there needs to be an investigation. The opposition's cyber spokesman, James Patterson, wants the Information Commissioner to get involved. Absolutely, he should investigate 100%. Also, I think what is important is that for the websites that have been identified, retail, betting, they should all put warnings up on their website at the moment saying there is an investigation into this. We are having a look at whether this is actually happening, because Susie's right. We simply don't know what is going on with the information and what the Chinese government and the Chinese Communist Party is going to do about it.
People were saying that we have a handsome boy coming from Australia.
But it is a real threat. We also have to take a step back. This is hardly breaking news. It's hardly a surprise. We should all treat all information, personal, commercial, everything that goes on the internet as being out there, being viewed by absolutely everyone. To think that the Chinese government is tracking our every move on the internet is hardly a surprise.
Now, I'm not surprised.
And we need a better government.
We then met with President Xi. That was a very positive meeting following on from our engagement at the G20 in Bali last year. We recognised that that was the beginning of a discussion between us and one of goodwill. And it was a very much a discussion that could be characterised as just that, one of goodwill, one where we spoke about our common interests going forward and where we can, as I've said, cooperate where we can, but disagree where we must. And both of us certainly agreed that we shouldn't be defined by our differences, recognise that they are there, but also recognise the mutual benefit that we have. In my meeting as well, we spoke about trade and the economic relationships. It was fairly high level as well. We spoke about the global economy, about China's rise, and President Xi gave a positive perspective on what he saw as China's future growth as well, and the role that it would play not just in terms of economic development in China, but in the region.
Because, you know, Anthony Albanese, as we've been discussing, the first Australian Prime Minister to set foot in China for 7 years.
That's my style. I hope you've noticed that.